What is up, everybody? Welcome to FPL Sauce. This is the Gameweek 6 review and the Gameweek 7 preview. After a shambolic Gameweek 6 for most people with a lot of injuries and red flags, let's look ahead to Gameweek 7 and hope that it can be better. So we're just going to jump into it. I'm joined again by Jade and Kyle, as always. We're going to jump straight into Jade's news, views, and Ews segment.
Yes, let's get it on. So with the news inside sources, we got some price rises. Lukaku's gone up. St. Maximin's also gone up. Benrahma, Salah, Cancello, Alonso, and Rudiger. I also saw Antonio's gone up. In fallers, we've got Gundogan. There's not many actual playing fallers, but Torres obviously had a good spell. In Nacho, Sol, and Digne. There's also Bamford's also dropped down a little bit now. Player availabilities, we've got Trent, who's obviously injured with a groin injury. He didn't play in the Champions League. We've got Pinnock, Shaw, Maguire, James, Mount, Rafinha, Ayling, and Bamford. Bamford is probably very doubtful for this game week. Even so, most of the 25% like James and Mount. And then in extras, we've obviously got Salah, who became the fastest player to reach the century mark in the Premier League for Liverpool, taking 151 games, beating Roger Hunt by 1 game. So that's pretty impressive. Hopefully he can get to 150 goals in a shorter span of time. In views, and I've also got a picture of the league table at the moment. Liverpool's now sitting on top. Manchester City, Chelsea, Man United, and Everton are all there in the top 5 spots. And Brighton still up there, so they're still doing well. They did choke a little bit against Crystal Palace. They did get the draw though, but they had the opportunity and they didn't take it. We got views, big time bangers. So this is looking somewhat depressing for a lot of the big boys out there, especially Kane, who's still with pretty much no returns. In 5 games. Vardy is looking the best at the moment with 40 points, 6 games played, 5 goals and 1 assist. Jesus is next up there with 2 goals, 3 assists. Lukaku, 3 goals, 0 assists. Ronaldo, 3 goals, 0 assists. And Aubameyang, 2 goals and 0 assists. Aubameyang's form is somewhat rising now, so hopefully he can keep that going in terms of Arsenal. Fixtures to look out for. Man United versus Everton should be half interesting. I'm really hoping the Red Devils get there, especially considering Everton don't really have an attack. Charleston and Calvert-Lewin are out. They're also missing Seamus Coleman. Chelsea versus Southampton. Chelsea should win this, should get some goals. So this is probably where a lot of the people are switching from Ronaldo to Lukaku. Leeds versus Watford should be interesting. Saw, Rafinha still a bit of a doubt. Bamford probably won't be there, but in terms of your Saw and your Rafinha's possible points, Crystal Palace, Leicester. Vardy should bang. I'm hoping he bangs. West Ham versus Brentford should be interesting. Brentford's on really good form and West Ham as well. So
Yeah, that's going to be.
Don't know what's going to happen there. Yeah, I'm expecting goals on both sides. And then obviously the big clash, Liverpool versus City. That should be highly intriguing. Not sure how many goals. Not sure if there'll be any clean sheets either. I don't know. That one's a doubt. Could be a 1-0 win on one of the sides. Not too sure. Differentials at the moment. Jesus, Decore, Townsend, Pinnock, Saka, Smith Rowe, Zaha, and Woipe. They're all looking reasonable at the moment and low ownerships. Teams with form, we've got City, Everton, Brentford, and Arsenal. And then this week's news. Why are you laughing?
Just Arsenal have made it to the form table.
They have.
I can't believe it.
I know, right?
It's
but
true.
With their fixtures, they should keep it going. So we'll see how that goes. And then news, unfortunately, this week, Man United suffered a loss to Aston Villa, and Bruno, no. Missed his 2nd ever penalty for Man United. So looking at those stats, it doesn't look that bad. But looking at the penalty he did take, it was very flippin' bad.
Yeah, I think it just landed in my back garden.
Yeah, it was a definite 3-pointer, maybe even a field goal in the American League. I'm not sure. His stats are great. But the way to that. This also could be the inclusion of Cristiano to take our penalties now. Not too sure how that might play out. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Cool. Catch the tabloid The Sauce Pot on our Twitter. We're going to post all our news, views, and news every week.
Yeah.
It shall be there.
And moving on to the Sauce-O-Meter. So this week, I struggled a bit with the Sauce-O-Meter. It's looking very different to how it looked a couple of weeks ago. But basically, at the top, the Lord Sauce, we've still got Ronaldo, who's looking a bit quieter in these past few games. I mean, he did score last night in the Champions League. 95th minute winner just to establish himself or prove that he's the Lord again. So can't take him out yet. But we're going to see now in the next few games if his form dips against a tougher opposition. Then we've got Salah, who's basically going to stay there the whole season. Trent, although he missed a game and then he blanked, he still deserves to be there, even though he's injured now, and I think a lot of people are going to take him out because he's definitely going to miss the City game, and yeah, it's just he has a lot of money tied up in him, and you can sort of get other defenders that might be able to match him for $1 million or 2 cheaper, so debatable, but he's there for now still. Antonio... Sorry,
just to throw in that there's an international break for him to recover, so you might only miss like 1 or so game weeks.
So I think whoever takes him out is got to have big ballast, but it might work. It might work. Then Antonio is still the top scoring forward, or I think he's the top scoring player in the game at the moment, if I'm not wrong. Still, so he stays there. Lukaku, he's still up there. I think his fixtures get really good now, so I think he's going to earn his spot there as a Lord Source. He's only got 3 goals so far in his 5 games. Still, he's the one to go for if you're going to look for the Chelsea, goals. A lot of them are going through him. Then I've put Cancello there, who has surprised a lot of us with being a mainstay in Pep's team this season. He's not getting rotated as much. He's just looking really good. He's taking shots from out the box. They're all going on target. He's not like fluffing them. He's creating chances. He's getting assists now. He's actually getting these points that we wanted from him last season. Yeah. And he's the top scoring defender in the FPL at the moment, so he deserves a spot there. And he's joined by any unnamed Chelsea defender, because basically you have to have a Chelsea defender. It's up to you which one you want. There's the riskiness with Alonso or James, or you get the more assured starts with Rudiger or even Christensen now. He's played 5 out of 6, so he could be a cheap nailed option. But basically, you got to get yourself a Chelsea defender. Then we move on to Spicy Spice. This is where it starts getting a bit tricky. Salah is up there due to his 3 goals in the last 2 games, I think. He's looking a bit better now. Basically, Watford's talisman. All the goals are going through him. So him and King. Now that King's starting, he's looking really good, actually. So I think it's helping Salah.
Helping Salah. Not getting a lot of goals for King, but the assists, so it doesn't really help you too much forward.
Yeah, but that goal that Salah scored on the weekend was actually a deflection, I think, from a shot from King. Or that was the week before, nice. But yeah. So King is making things happen there. Then we've got the 2 strikers from Brentford, Tony and Mbuemo, who are looking really good. Just basically Brentford as a whole is looking really good. So I think they are going to be the underdogs that are going to basically finish top 10 this season, I think. And Tony and Mbuemo are the proper output for that team. Mbuemo is even more forward than Tony, but Tony's on penalties, so they're both very good options, I think. Then we've got Gallagher, who's doing the things at Crystal Palace. He's looking really good.
He is looking good.
So yeah, he's really making a lot of stuff happen there. With the addition of Edouard, I think they're going to pair up nicely. Gallagher's a good creative player. He opens up the spots and the spaces for the other players to run into, like Zaha and Edouard. So
he's proven that he's quite good in the tight spots, like they're in the penalty box when he's got a couple defenders. He seems to keep control and get a shot off. So
yeah, and he is on set pieces as well, which is quite surprising. So one to keep your eye on. Then I've got Doucouré, who could arguably be Townsend or Gray, but I've put Doucouré in the spicy spice and the other 2 in the mild, just to show that I like Doucouré a little bit more than the other 2. He's playing very aggressive. He's playing way more forward than he was in the last season. And he, now with the lack of Richarlison and DCL, he's taking on a bit more forward responsibility. And he's cheap. So I think out of the 3, I would go for Doucouré. But the other 2 are still there, Gray and Townsend. Townsend is looking quite surprisingly attacking as well. So one to keep your eye on. Then joining them in Spicy Spice, we've got the 2 Arsenal boys, Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka, who did very well this week. They outplayed Tottenham, made them look like school kids, honestly. Tottenham is just... Basically, Tottenham have swapped with Arsenal now.
They pretty much have. They've even swapped on the table there. 10
what do you guys think Daniel Levy's going to do? Do you think he's going to fire Nuno? Do you
Not
think
yet.
He'll rotate?
I don't know.
I'm interested to see.
I think Kane is causing problems because there was this whole shebang in the beginning of the season, and now he just doesn't look like the same player. I don't know if Nuno is getting the the best out of him by putting him on the left there, but just doesn't look the same player as he did last season and the seasons before.
Interesting.
They have complained, or there's been some rumors coming out that he is expecting more from the team to supply him. And to be honest, he's not really being supplied with a lot. So there's not a whole lot he can kind of do. And I saw in the analysts of the Spurs Arsenal game that Spurs pretty much had no midfield most of the time. They just weren't defending. There was no one there to stop the counter attack. So I don't know what's going on there.
Strange.
Big thing is going to happen there, I think, this season. It's going to be a big power shift. But joining the last spot in Spicy Spice is the Vardy party. He's actually scored, 5 goals and an assist from 6 games. Gone under the radar. Yeah, he just returns. He just keeps on returning.
Party.
So yeah, he joins Spicy Spice. And then in Mild, I mentioned there's Gray and Townsend. They get joined by Jesus, who's actually not being rotated that much. He's playing really well for Man City. So
he did get the goal against Chelsea, so that's a big game goal as well.
Exactly, yeah. He seems to be turning up in these big games. Now with the return of KDB, who also makes this list, and Foden, we're not really sure who's going to play as the striker or if there is going to be a striker in that team. So we just have to keep a lookout for that. They did get outplayed in the Champions League on Tuesday by PSG and a Messi wonder goal. So let's see how they shape up now this weekend against Liverpool, which is another huge game. So yeah, it's very important to keep your eye on if there's any mainstays in that team, because obviously if there is, then they are basically guaranteed points returners in that City attack. Then joining them...
Can't say that for a lot of people. Grealish is let me down.
Very true.
He's still getting there. He's still getting there. I think he's probably still a good asset. I don't know.
It's crazy. His stats are through the roof. He's really up there on the ICTs, I think is the way you say that. But yeah, no returns though, so it's kind of disappointing.
He's all fart, no poo.
True.
But yeah, joining them in Mild is the 2 Arsenal defenders, which is strange because we wouldn't have said this a couple of weeks ago. Ramsdale, the new keeper, looking mighty fine. He did a really nice save. Yeah, did you guys see that save from Lucas Moura in the last minutes of the
fingertip, and he just knocked it into the bar.
No, he's really trying. He's making the defense feel more assured in front of him because he can actually control the ball with his feet. So the people in front of him aren't panicking and stuff like they were with Leno. So now, and plus with the addition of Tomiyasu, who's the second defender on this Mild list here from Arsenal.
He also looked really good.
He's looking good. He's a big boy. I feel like there's a lot of confidence now in that back line. And wrapping up the Mild Sauce-o-meter is Pinnock, who somehow keeps getting returns. I think he's a centre-back, right, from Brentford. Is he a centre-back?
I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like he's a wing-back, but I think he might actually be a centre-back.
Yeah, I remember being surprised.
I think he's listed as a full-back,
okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, yeah, keep an eye on him because Brentford have looked smashing, as I mentioned earlier. They're getting clean sheets and they're scoring goals. So, yeah.
It's relatively big. Liverpool, obviously, pretty much top team. So
yeah, that was a crazy game.
That was a hectic game.
It was exciting. It was a good game to watch.
And then last on the list is Morpay from Brighton, and he seems to actually be the front man for Brighton, and he's returning. He did a wonderful little chip over the goalkeeper on the 90th minute to equalise for Palace, or equalise against Palace, and I think he's on penalties, so good shout there if you want a Brighton attacker. Cool, that is it for the Sauce-o-meter. We're going to move on to captaincy table now. And Kyle, you can take us away.
All right, guys. This week, based on fixtures, I had to pick Lukaku as the player focus. But I'm going to start with captaincy options for Gameweek 7 first. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo has to be there. He's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. Fixtures shouldn't matter against him. You guys might disagree with me on that one, but I put him there against Everton anyway. So CR7 against Everton, I think he's going to return once again, even though most people are probably going to change to Lukaku, straight swap. I want both, but okay. Chelsea versus Southampton, Lukaku he has to be a captaincy option. I think for the next 4 to 5 game weeks, Chelsea have really good fixtures, guys.
Yeah.
So you guys have touched on it quite a bit. you can go front man, you can go midfield, and you can build a defense out of Chelsea. So it might become imperative to have 3 Chelsea players in your team at some stage. Moving on, West Ham versus Brentford. Mikel Antonio, top scorer in the season so thus far. I think he's a definite captaincy option. I don't know how the game's going to go. I don't know if it's going to swing in West Ham's favor, but he's still most likely going to return. That's how I feel. Moving on to Game Week 8, guys, just to try and build a plan. Watford versus Liverpool. Mo Salah. Salah. Spice. He's going to be there. Like you guys said, Watford are actually looking pretty good, and Liverpool looked a bit shaky in defense against Brentford. So I'm not too sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They still score goals though. I mean,
He will. Yeah, he'll return. I didn't put any City versus Liverpool in Game Week 7, moving back to Game Week 7, because I don't know how the fixture's going to go.
Well, I don't think you really can captain in such a big game.
Yeah, I agree. So I just left that alone. But in Game Week 8, City versus Burnley, I didn't put Jack Grealish because he's let us down. But I have put KDB and also a little asterisk, Phil Foden.
Yeah, he looked really good in the Champions. He looked really good. He looked hungry.
Yeah, and he's really good on the ball. He's confident. He's slippery. I like it. The next fixture, guys, Brentford versus Chelsea. Chelsea are probably going to smash Brentford. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Hey, Brentford did it to
smash
Liverpool.
is a strong word.
It is an away fixture.
I think Chelsea are way more defending than they are attacking. So I think they'll probably keep a clean sheet, but they might not score a bunch because Brentford have been defending quite well. So
True. So we'll see.
Tough to say.
Maybe they might smash them in terms of possession and passing, but it'll be like a 1-2 or 2-1.
I think definitely possession. I
Yeah.
can't see Brentford having too much.
True. All right, guys, moving on to Game Week 9. Chelsea versus Norwich. This is a great fixture for Chelsea once again. This is where you can really get some returns.
Yeah.
I don't want
Norwich
to spoil
are yet to
anything.
win. Everyone target Norwich games pretty much if you can.
Yeah. I've been picking on Norwich quite a bit this season, and for a pretty good reason, I guess.
And also, just to add a little tidbit, the Game Week 9 is when Man United probably have the worst run of fixtures. They play Liverpool Game Week 9, so that's like optimally the best time to swap it if you haven't done a swap over.
To swap, yeah. I'm definitely planning a wild card for somewhere in this range, but spoilers, we'll get there. Brighton versus City, Kevin De Bruyne once again. I love the way this guy plays. He's so creative. He's a leader on the pitch, and he doesn't take anyone's poo, which I like. And he's not a performer, you know. When he gets fouled, he doesn't perform. He just gets back up, shouts at the guy, moves on. I love that. I love it. No time for actors. Right, guys, differential captaincy options. This was actually really tough. I'm not going to lie. I had a tough time picking differential captaincy options. I don't know if Aubameyang is a differential captaincy option for Game Week 7 versus Brighton, but there's a lot of good fixtures. Chelsea versus Southampton, West Ham versus Brentford. So he's a shout against Brighton. I do still feel Brighton are probably going to win.
I don't know. Definitely a draw looks probable there. I don't know.
Probable, like a 1-0. A 1-1.
I might disagree with you guys there.
You think Arsenal are going to come in and bang?
I do think so.
Interesting.
I think it's a home game for Brighton though, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Could be close.
Could be close. And Game Week 8, guys. I don't know if anyone owns Ings anymore. I don't know if Aston Villa attack are even worth getting onto. But I put in there anyway because I feel as if that could be a return that no one else is going to be looking at.
Who does United play in Game Week 8?
I can let you know uno momento.
Because I'm wondering.
Yeah. And then Game Week 9, DCL versus Watford. He's going to be back. So that's going to be interesting. I think Everton are going to return to form pretty soon. They've got a really good coach. They've got really good players. I'm not sure how the rest of the season's going to go, but that particular fixture looks juicy, in my opinion. And then Bamford versus Wolves, guys. Bamford would also be back by Game Week 9. Him and Rafinha linking up really nicely, scoring goals, getting assists, helping each other. I think that's also a good fixture to focus on.
Just to jump in there, Man United play Leicester.
Oh,
In Game
thank
Week
you.
8.
Game week 9.
Game Week 9.
Game week 8 is Man United Leicester.
No, Game week 9 is Liverpool. Sorry, Game week 9 is Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But it's an away fixture against.
It is an away
Leicester.
fixture.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Are you guys going to jump on the Vardy party?
Spoilers, but I've already done that.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's just no space for him in my team. I
Same.
honestly just don't know where to go. I don't know how to get him.
How do you
Yeah,
get
but
the
we'll
budget for him?
get there. We'll get there.
All right, guys. Player focus of this week, Lukaku. For the next 4 to 5 game weeks, he's the one, in my opinion. I think it's going to be great. So I took all of his games against Southampton and Norwich in all leagues and cups. So these are his stats. He hasn't played against Brentford, not even once. So that's going to be a first for him. I'm keen to see that game. But against Southampton, guys, he's got 7 wins, 2 draws. Obviously, he wasn't playing for Chelsea. He was playing for United.
And Everton.
Even Everton, yeah.
And Everton, where he was actually playing a different role at Everton on the right. So he was getting quite a few assists and whatnot from there. 7 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses against Southampton, 9 goals. That's quite a lot. And 3 assists. So there's probably a good fixture.
12
to focus
returns
on
in 12
as lately.
games. That's really good. 12 returns,
Yeah.
12 games. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very good. All right, guys. Versus Norwich in game week 9. He's got 5 wins against Norwich, 2 draws, 1 loss, only 2 goals and 2 assists. But I remember at a stage, his first touch was just horrid, and he wasn't getting any type of returns.
Yeah, looking at his previous stats is a bit difficult considering he wasn't really at the best of form at
Yeah.
United, so a lot of them went
It is.
wayward.
Yeah. I'm glad he had that kind of that window of time at Inter, because I think it helped develop him as a player. All right, guys. We touched on this. Jade and Brandon touched on this earlier. 3 goals this season thus far, 0 assists. He's got 120 minutes per goal, so that's not too bad, but it's pretty bad.
They have
The
been.
fixtures,
They have had some tough fixtures, though, to be honest, as well.
The recent ones.
the fixtures haven't been great, so now's the time to pick it up again. And then 3.8 shots per 90. Most of them, I think it's 3.5, coming from inside the box, which makes sense because he's the spearhead. He's going to pick the ball up in the box and one touch, bang it in. But yeah, that's me for this week, guys. Dip to double dunkers. Lukaku, if you have Ronaldo in your team, it's easy to just do a straight swap.
But when is the question?
No.
By game week 9, I rate.
Definitely by
Norwich.
game week 9. Definitely by
Yeah.
game week 9. But if you don't do it this week because there's so many other fires to put out, then I think you might be able to keep Ronaldo for one more week and wait until game week 9. I think Ronaldo has a better chance of scoring against Leicester than Lukaku does against Brentford. I might eat my words there. I might. But we'll have to see.
But there is an
Oh,
international break after this, so a lot of the red flags can come back, so don't jump too quickly.
Very true. Alrighty, Jade. This is your team from last week. You can take us through it. How did you do?
Not so good. I did beat the average though, but I wasn't too impressed. Sanchez with a 2 there. Crystal Palace obviously got the early goal. James was pretty much not a great transfer, but I'm hoping he comes back. I don't really want to sub him out so quickly to Rudiger or Alonso. Marcel did relatively well. Tierney, not so good. Greenwood, not so good. Grealish, another 3-pointer there. He's pretty much a guaranteed 3-pointer so far. Salah is a 7, did reasonably well. I wish I captained him. Gray 6, Rafinha 8. Rafinha's still on form there. Antonio with that late goal. Pretty happy I got Antonio back. And Ronaldo, yeah, unfortunately, United did not score in that game. So
Because of
was not the
Greenwood,
best.
probably. Because he literally was
No,
the
he
most
took
selfish
so many-
player.
he was very selfish. He kept taking a lot of shots, but yeah, unfortunately, none of them getting anywhere. Foster on my bench with 3, so I possibly could have got 1 more point if I'd swapped them around. And yeah, Duffy with 2, so I'm glad I left my bench the way it was. Maybe for James it would have been nicer, but not getting much out of a 1 point extra, to be honest. So yeah, and all in all, not the best. Of
Cool. What was
game
your
weeks.
total? What did you move from and to?
I am now in I think I'm 1.4 something, so I moved from 1.6, and
I think you're 1.29
My total-
now.
No, I am overall rank 1-4.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then
I
I've been
didn't do
given
much.
misleading
Yeah.
information.
See,
Well,
I think that was the last game that changed that. I was a lot lower until the Brighton game,
right.
unfortunately.
I see.
And then points for that last week. Let me just get there. 49. So yeah, not the best. Average
Alright.
Tomorrow
was
Gray
40.
was a cheeky signing. I'm not going to lie.
Which signing?
Gray. I think that was cheeky.
It was
I
a
like
cheeky
it.
one, especially at the time, yeah. But there's a lot of contenders there in the Everton midfield. I mean, Townsend, Decore, so it's tough to say which is the best one as
It
well.
is tough.
Okay, Kylo, take us away on how you did.
Jade and myself did fairly similarly. I think I also scored 49 points, Jade, as my overall score. Luke Shaw,
Yeah.
horrible, terrible.
Injury.
Yeah. Mason Greenwood, selfish, just like you guys said. I was happy to captain Antonio in this game.
Good
I
captain
did
choice.
receive some friendly advice from Brandon Brandalorian over here to ring and I did it and I captained him. I was going to captain Mo Salah.
So it's not the worst.
Wouldn't have
It's not the
been
worst.
too much of a difference.
Yeah, it didn't make too much. It's like 2 points, but those 2 points were great. I had Rafinha on my bench because I was under the impression that he wasn't going to play. But luckily for me, Gilmore didn't play. So he was transferred on.
Very jammy. Super
but
jammy.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. What to do? What to do? I don't know.
International break is hopefully going to give you the time.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
chat about that now in our preview for the next game week.
Indeed. But yeah, guys, not much this week. Fairly average. I think my new rank is at 1.23 or something like that. So a small jump from 1.4.
Okay.
I hope I can get under the 1 million mark so I can start feeling good about my team's progression. But I am making some bank now because I was ahead of the curve a little bit with Lukaku. So that's pretty good. And yeah, hopefully
Okay.
we move on, make some clever transfers in the future and bang it.
Okie dokie. Coming to my results from last week. My defense was quite shambolic. I had Foster, I luckily started over Raya, who got me 3 instead of 2. Alexander-Arnold, as we mentioned, is not performing and he's got an orange flag. So we're not sure. He missed the game due to a tight groin. So apparently he's not going to make it back for next week, which gives us a dilemma. But anyways, we shall get there. Semedo got a nice clean sheet there for Wolves. Shaw,
Unsure.
Yeah, I'm very unsure. He's basically been the most disappointing player that I've owned this season. I didn't even start with him. I got him when Ronaldo came in, and he still has been disappointing.
We expected those Euro form to come back, but it didn't.
Yeah. Then Liverpool came in from my bench for Bamford, who with a sweet 2-pointer, nothing very exciting there. And then for my attackers, basically all of them returned except for my captain. So I've got Rafinha with 7, Rafinha with 8, Salah with 9, Salah and Jota with 7, Antonio with 8. So I could have captained anybody else except for Ronaldo. And I was on Antonio for the whole day until the deadline, and then I switched just for the fact that I was going to watch the United match, but I wasn't going to watch the West Ham match. So I did it for fun, because of fun, and fun screwed me. So yeah, no more fun. But yeah, basically a good.
I think Jota's going to be an for you though soon with Firmino back now.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to give him this last week against City, but he's definitely going to start getting rotated. But we shall come to that soon, as I've said about 400 times. But altogether, I got like a tiny green arrow from 980th to 788th. So even though it didn't feel like a good week, I got a 55 and a green arrow. So I'm not going to complain.
55 was good
for
that kind of a game week.
But yeah, okay, Jade, are you going to walk us through what your plans are for the coming week?
Yes, so I've already made my 2 transfers. I got rid of Bamford before his price drop, and I got rid of Jack Grealish because I cannot be going on with Jack 0, Jack 3. It's not going too well. So I went
Jack Grealish.
So I went and got myself a sneaky Vardy and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe because of his cheapness, really, honestly. I think he's also dropped 0.2, so I'm expecting him to get those 0.2 back. That's also a sneaky way to build my bank. And then Vardy is just on really crazy form. I honestly had the capabilities of getting him in, and I saw that was the best option. I am not as loaded in the defensive side of things as Brandon and Kyle, and maybe that's why I can afford Vardy. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty excited for this game week. I am very unsure of who to captain. It's pretty much between all of the front three. I'm tempted to go Ronaldo against Everton because Everton they're missing Seamus Coleman in the back, which is kind of important for them, and then they have no attack. So I don't know how that's going to go, but he has let me down. He did score in the Champions League, so I'm like constantly swaying over his name. But Antonio versus Brentford looks exciting. I don't know how that game's going to go. I think the Brentford form might intimidate me off that. But Vardy against Crystal Palace as well, but that's the away game. I don't know. I'm honestly quite torn here. And then in terms of James, I am keeping him on. I know international's coming soon, so I think he might only miss this game, and then he'll be back in the team. So I'm not going to go do anything drastic there. But otherwise, I've got probably Williams to come on for him. I'll probably play Williams over Duffy. And then so far, Gray sitting my bench. I guess it depends on what's happening with Rafinha.
What are you thinking of doing with James? Are you going to leave him there?
I'm going to keep him until the international break is over and see if he makes the starting team again and if his injury is healed up. Because I think it's just an ankle injury. I don't think it's like a couple months. I don't think it's going to be that long. I think it might just be this international that he's out.
Oh, it's looking good. That definitely spiced your team up with some Vardy and Smith Rowe. You've gone a quite differential. So
yeah, I've gone and got 2 Arsenal players now from my lack of love for them at the beginning of the season.
And 3 weeks ago, we were tuning them. I was ripping them apart.
I definitely was. But their fixtures are just it's too good. They have to perform. I mean, honestly, if they don't, it'd be very depressing.
But they played really well against Tottenham. Like I was actually very impressed by them.
The thing is, maybe that cuck start actually led them to be more hungry and like overperform now. So hopefully, I'm catching a bit of that wind.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, that captaincy choice is tough. I mean, just between Ronaldo and Antonio, it's tough. But adding the Vardy in there, it's another option. So I think any of them could do very well.
Yeah, it's about which one on the game week. I mean, you had a similar problem last week, and you got it wrong.
Yeah, first captaincy choice blank of the season. Heartbreaking. But anyways.
It has to happen at some point. Everyone loses their card.
True. Kyle, are you going to walk us through your team?
I've made my transfer this week. I'm contemplating playing my wild card either this week or next week. But I'm happy with my team as it stands, except for Gilmore and Alexander-Arnold. I've made Marcos Alonso the transfer of this week. I signed Luke Shaw out.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
I was happy to do so. It was like the easiest transfer ever. Marcos Alonso, I don't know if he's going to play every game, but he's a serious attacking threat. I chose him over Rudiger.
He did come off at halftime in the Champions League against Juve. So
yeah, but that's because he was playing cuck. That's because they were scared to concede.
So I don't know. I mean, it's tough. This is exactly the same dilemma Lampard had at a stage. So I don't know where this is.
But Lampard went with Chilwell over Marcus.
He did. I guess against the Southampton, though, you don't expect him to attack so much, so you don't need that defensive coverage from Chilwell. So Alonso should still be good.
Yeah, I agree. So that was my only transfer this week, guys. Jack Grealish is still in my team. I don't know what to do about it. I am not enjoying the structure of my team, but I think I can pull through for these next few game weeks.
In terms of your wild card, what are the players that you're looking of getting out?
I want to maybe Jack Grealish, Mason Greenwood. I want to combine them into a Cristiano Ronaldo up front.
I see. So you
have Antonio, Lukaku, Cristiano, and then a weaker midfield. That's the kind of game plan I'm going for. So either this week or next week, wildcard time. I don't think it's going to be this week. I'm going to move against that.
No, don't do it.
You already made your transfer.
Say again?
You already made your transfer, so it doesn't help you as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, guys, not much happening, but I think I've got decent fixtures sprinkled with poor fixtures.
Captaincy though? Probably Lukaku.
Captaincy is going to be Lukaku.
Vice
Lukaku
captain
against
there, but easy claps. If you guys had Lukaku, if anyone owns Lukaku, just captain him.
It's,
Just
yeah,
do
it
it.
would be the easiest one.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then keepers, are you playing Foster over Sanchez as
I
opposed to
am going to
Jade?
play. I think I'm going to play Foster over Sanchez because of the
Leeds.
Leeds backline not performing at this moment in time, and Arsenal picking up form.
Yeah, Foster's gonna go get all those goals here against that shoddy Leeds team.
No, I misspoke. I meant to say the forward line.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah,
And are you just gonna keep Trent, see what he says next week or what?
I'm going to keep Trent. I think if I sell him, I'm not going to be able to get him back into the team.
Yeah, it is
And
one
he'll
of those.
probably be the top scoring defender of the season. So it makes
Yeah,
sense
but just
to plug him.
remember, international break is after this game week, so it's very hard to make those types of decisions until after
Very
the
true.
rest period.
Very true. But yeah, I'll hold on to that for now. What do you guys think? Are you going to hold on to, if you have Alexander-Arnold, are you going to hold on
I
to
would.
him?
Well, I'm
You would?
holding on to James for pretty much a similar reason. So
The same reason, yeah. And you, Brandon? You also going to
I
hold on to him?
am gonna tell you my dilemma right now.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, so having a look at my team. That doesn't even show all the flags that I've got because Trent also has a flag. So yeah, I've got Shaw flagged, Rafinha flagged, Bamford flagged, and Alex flagged. So
and
Bamford,
Bamford's price, unfortunately.
Bamford just released on the official Leeds podcast this morning that he hasn't been able to run for the past 10 days, and he thinks that he'll only be able to run in another 10 days.
Sure.
So might come back after the international break, but now my question is it worth it to keep hold of him for that long? Because
There's too many to switch. You can switch to, and even cheaper than him. I mean, Saint Maximum's look kind of reasonable. Moipe you mentioned earlier in your saucer meter.
yeah, okay. So let me tell you my options. So I want to get Shaw out. If he's playing this week, I can hold him for one more week against Everton, and then I can transfer him out. So I'm okay with that. We just need some Shaw news. Rafinha, I am hoping that he's going to play because he's not going to leave even if he's not playing. I just have other fires to put
Need
out.
that Leeds coverage as well, which
Yeah.
he's the best you can get out of it.
Then we've got Bamford, who I've mentioned earlier. I want to get him out because he sat on my bench 1 week. He's going to do it again. I don't want him to just waste that 8 mil in my team.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 free transfers. I want to get Bamford out. Shaw, depending on if he's available this weekend. Alex, depending on if he's available. He apparently said he's going to miss the City game and perhaps the game after that. So I don't know. It's risky to transfer him out though because obviously Trent is a lord. So if I do it, it might just be for like this week and then I might have to get him back later. So that's something I want to avoid. But then also Jota is now playing City this week and he's going to start being rotated because Firmino's back. So I need to make a choice.
And Firmino scored 2 in the Champions League.
Really? So. That's some good information as well. Did Jota play? So did Jota get taken off and then Firmino came on and then he scored 2?
I'm not too sure, but yeah, Firmino came on and he scored 2.
Interesting. That is
very
bad
news.
news.
And also, just looking at your team, with obviously Shaw is a doubt, Alexander is more likely a doubt, and Bamford. That's already 3 bench players coming on. Obviously, Shaw is a bit, but yeah, definitely 2 automatic bench.
Yeah, so I can trade out 2 now. So I can either go Alex to a City defender like Cancello or Alonso or whatever. I kind of want to wait. I want to wait 1 more week before I get Cancello in because I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet this week. So my ideal thing to happen would be that Shaw can play 1 more week and then next week I can swap him to Cancello. But that's like clutching at straws. Clutching at Shaws. I don't think it's going to happen.
Clutching at Shaws?
I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, so basically Alex to Alonso and Bamford or Jota to someone else.
Interesting.
I could go Alex down to Rudiger and Bamford to Lukaku.
Yeah, I had that idea as well.
But then Jota still plays and I don't have any Trent. I could go Jota to Gallagher, Bamford to Lukaku, and Alex to Alonso for a -4. But then
But your bench there looks a bit iffy with Arsenal and Chelsea being their opponents.
yeah, but I mean, I won't need to play. Bamford won't be there. Lukaku will be there.
Yeah,
Alex
but I'm
won't
just
be
thinking,
there.
your Jota, you're sure, obviously he might still play, but Alex won't. So Duffy or Livramento must come in.
Yeah, I don't really mind playing Duffy this week. I'll have to see though. But the thing is, if I take that -4, go Lukaku in, Gallagher in, Cancello in, then I miss out. Oh, sorry, not Cancello. Alonso in. Then I miss out on going to from Shaw to Cancello next week by 0.2.
Yeah.
So I could go, instead of Alonso, I could go Rudiger or another Chelsea defender, and then I could go from Shaw to Cancello. So this is my dilemma. I have many options. I could go Jota to Emile Smith-Rowe instead of Gallagher and have Alex to Alonso and Shaw to Cancello and Bamford to Lukaku. So I think I might do that. But
to be honest, Smith-Rowe, same reason I got him. He had dropped 0.2, and with the recent fixtures coming up, he's supposed to rise. So this is one sneaky way to build the bank as well.
yeah,
That makes sense.
So if Shaw is playing this week, then I think that's my moves. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the -4, get Lukaku in, get Emile Smith-Rowe in, and get Alonso in. And then
who do you
think those are
captain?
good
Probably
transfers.
Lukaku on that one.
then I'm going to
That's
captain
obvious.
Lukaku. I definitely will captain Lukaku. But if I don't want to take the -4, then which of the 4, Jota, Shaw, Bamford, and Alex, would you move on? Choose 2 out of those 4.
Trent and Bamford.
I
Trent
think, yeah,
and
Bamford, you can always buy him back at some points. No, I don't know. Trent with his high price and all that, it's tough. I don't know. For me, it's Bamford is the obvious one, but between the other 3,
But if I can't go up,
Depends
if I can't go up to Lukaku by selling Alex, then who would I go down to? I don't really want to go to like a Morpay Maximin guy, because then I only get a 0.5 or a 1.5 mil, and what do I do with that? I'm not going to upgrade Jota. I'm not going to upgrade Trent. Like, I don't know. It just feels like...
could get you Alex and Cancello at some point, if they both fit.
True.
Yeah, then
What
I'll
about
just have
Ivan
to...
Toney up top if you're not going to go Lukaku?
Ivan Toney,
Question.
not a bad one. Who do they play again this week? Brentford's playing? West Ham's. Ivan Toney, Mbuemo it's just too many choices, too many options. I don't know what to do. Just take my profile, do it for me, please. Jesus,
We'll
take
start
the
a
wheel.
poll and see what you vote for.
Yeah, that poll will have to be the most complex poll. Like, would you A down to Z do this and this? Yeah,
Are
no.
you taking the red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah, dude, I wish it was that easy. But yeah, so I am basically just waiting for news on Shaw and news on Rafinha. If they can guarantee that they're starting this weekend, then it makes my life a bit easier. But looks like I'm going to take my first hits of the season this week.
Shaw news is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
Well, you might profit from that -4 hit. If you say were to captain Lukaku, it might be a massive profit.
I mean, true. I mean, you can make it back right there and then, so it's things to think about.
Very true. But then it would mean having to either... Which one would you rather have? Gallagher and Alonso, or Rudiger and Smith-Rowe?
Rudiger and Smith-Rowe.
Yeah, probably. I like Gallagher, but I think just
Sorry,
Arsenal's
wait.
fixtures-
I think I swapped that around. Gallagher and Rudiger, or Smith-Rowe and Alonso?
Smith-Rowe and Alonso.
Yeah, probably definitely that one. That one, yeah.
Okay, but Gallagher, I like Gallagher. I want him. He's the creative talisman in that team. But yeah,
But how's
I can't have
Crystal
everyone.
Palace? I don't just completely off my
They're
head, but I know
looking good.
Arsenal's are
They're looking good. It's like it's like 3 greens, a white, and a red in their next 5, I think.
So I guess it's either or.
Yeah, Patrick Vieira is doing a great job thus far.
He is.
But yeah, okay. Enough about my dilemmas. I'll have to let you guys know what I decide. I've got a lot to work out. I feel like that meme with the dude with like connecting all the conspiracies, and he's like so mind blown. I literally am just trying so hard to figure out something that works. But I need to act today because the price drops are going to lock me out of these moves.
A lot of them are, well, Bamford, you already lost, so good luck.
It's fine. But anyways, all right. I think that's all from me then.
Great stuff.
Yep. Some questions on your side, my side not so complicated.
Yeah, you're looking at your guys' teams. It's so simple and nice and solid. I'm so jealous. But
Well, you are over 1 million places above us, so
the choices do get a lot harder the higher up your rank, or the lower down your rank, should I say? I don't know which way. First you are.
No, you're definitely higher up if you are ranked first.
Okay,
That's
good.
a higher rank.
I thought so. I was right the first time.
Yeah, people confuse the shit out of me on Twitter when they say, "Oh, but you ranked so low," and then I'm like, "What are you ranked? I'm ranked like 700th in the world. What are you ranked?" And they're like, "Yo, dude, that's so low." I'm like, "Okay, what?" But anyways, okay, that is it from me then, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of FPL Sauce. Catch us next week. Check out our Twitter at FPL Sauce.
Facebook, and give us a like.
Yeah.
Lick.
Subscribe and do all that boring shit. All right, that's all. Enjoy
Thank you so much, guys.
your week. Good luck for the weekend.
Peace.